We finally have a defensive guy tonight. This is the Wednesday middle of the week show. Stevenson coming up, and we're talking to Ray Bierbach. And Ray had a pick six almost on Saturday, and was voted the Division III
team of the week. Yeah.
Division III Team of the Week. And so we wanted to grab him and talk about that Wilkes game. I know last year at Wilkes we struggled. What was the difference, you think, this year?
I think I'm coming into this game, a lot of seniors, or pretty much everybody on the team, we haven't beaten Wilkes since we've been here. And just having to be our homecoming and it's being 0-3 against Wilkes so far, I just had to get that win. You got to keep winning every week to get the playoffs. So.
Well, that's interesting. So, as a football player, you want to at least say you beat every team that you played in the MAC, huh?
Yep, that did it. They're the last team that we had to beat to say that. So yeah.
Okay, a little more on the line. It's fun to watch you out there. You have to not only worry about some of the fast wide receivers, but you have to decide when to come up. And I saw you make some tackles on running backs at the line of scrimmage or so. How tough is that to decide, let your receiver go and come on in?
Well, we do a good job in practice and watching film. I'm getting a good read on when they're going to run the ball, when they're going to pass the ball, like what they do differently. And when you get a good read like that, it's easy to get a good jump on and make a tackle at the line.
I know you have maybe about 4 or 5 other backfield defensive back people. How much communication is there right before the ball snapped?
Oh, there's communication's a key part of each play. I mean, everybody has to know the coverage. Everybody's got to be on the same page what coverage you're running, like what the defensive line's doing, what the backers are going to do, if there's any blitzes called or anything like that. So communication's a big part of that.
Who actually calls the defensive lineup? I know sometimes it seems like it's awful late. You're yelling something from the sideline, and how you guys switch up and know what to do is maybe meant to be confusing, but you guys know what's happening.
Yeah, well, the defensive coaches will bring out the defensive line front, like where they're supposed to be aligned, and then based on what they throw at us, like what formation they throw at us, I'll make the coverage call based on what we practice all week, based on what we see in film.
I have to ask you this question. I think you anticipated a throw last week. The Wilkes quarterback threw it, and boy, if you look at the film, the wide receiver was stunned that he didn't have the ball in his hands. You just timed that perfectly, and you got called for celebrating a little early. Did you know about that rule before you got there, or tell us a little more about that? And I guess you didn't make it into the end zone before you celebrated.
Yeah, well, we learned about that before the season started. A new rule: if you start celebrating before you score or get in the end zone, it's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, and it takes away the touchdown. But yeah, I made a really good break on the ball, and I caught it, and I just took off, and I got some good blocks from Nador Apollo and Kabongo, and right before the end zone, I looked up at some of the old alumni that I actually played with, and I did celebrate. I saw it on film. I did celebrate a little early, but I just wasn't thinking at the time.
Well, I didn't think it was all that excessive. You were just saying it's a touchdown. It was just maybe 1 yard too early.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going, and it just, I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I mean, it was
nice. I don't want to belabor it. What was that, about a 60-yard pick or so?
Yeah, 60. I don't really know the exact yards. I think it's like 60, 65. Yeah.
You've had some other nice run backs. I think one last year you took back, 90-some yards?
It was close. I think it was like 86 or 85 or something like that. But yeah, that was on last year's homecoming too, so it would have been 2 homecomings in a row.
Okay. You're down there with a good quarterback at Stevenson and good wide receivers. Even though they're a first-year team, they seem to have a lot of talent. What keeps you from getting trapped and finding out, gee, we're really behind in this game?
I mean, yeah, they do got some. They're young, but they got some. Like, they got a D1 AA quarterback coming in that transferred in. Just watching film, just got to realize that every game you got to win each game in order to make playoffs from now on, because we already have one loss. So you just got to keep that mindset. If you lose, you're done. So you got to win every game.
I like that. Every game's a championship playoff game.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. I mean, we can't get to 9-1 without being 6-1, 7-1, 8-1. So we got to take each game one at a time.
Okay. Have a nice 3-hour trip, a nice stay overnight, and get rested up. And can't wait. Love D3 football and can't wait for Saturday.
All right, thank you.
Have a safe one.
Thanks.
This has been a recording by WOLnews.com, your Lycoming College football connection.